Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brendan and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. And today we're seeing some green come back into the crypto markets as a strong sign of recovery, as most cryptocurrencies are up anywhere from 5 to 10% on the day, some being up even a little bit more than that. So across the board, again, we can see a good amount of green in both Bitcoin and the altcoins. Ethereum up 7%, Bitcoin up 3%, BNB up nearly 5%, Cardano still chugging up nearly 6%, and across the board we even have Dogecoin going up at almost 6.5%. I know Elon was tweeting about Dogecoin a little bit yesterday, trying to get McDonald's to accept them as a form of payment and tender. Whether that will happen, we will have to see. I know Elon and McDonald's have been in a little bit of a tweeting battle back and forth with some funny banter, but across the board we are seeing some strong signs of recovery, or at least some short-term green, with Polygon being one of the leading factors in the altcoins, up almost 13-14%. So that's really good here, and what I want to do is talk about some of the leading and driving factors across the markets of what is causing this fundamentally. Now, we're not going to be able to go over everything because there is just so much news happening in crypto right now. Again, a lot of fundamental pluses and positives are coming into the market every single day. And so one thing to realize is that when cryptocurrency does have these drops, as we have seen, it's not because anything fundamentally is going wrong with Bitcoin or with some of these altcoins for the most part. But what is happening is that there is just technical things happening behind the scenes. There is whales moving their money, reallocating their money. Maybe there's a little bit of political uncertainty, but the fundamentals of these cryptocurrencies are not changing. It's not like Bitcoin went offline and Ethereum crashed or anything like that. In fact, the fundamentals really are getting better every single day, every single week. And that's something that we're seeing pretty consistently. But one of the things that I found to be really cool about all of this is that in the mix, we had GPU prices dropping along with the crypto markets. Now, if you've been a gamer or if you've been a miner for any amount of time, you would know that GPU or graphics cards have been through the roof. They've been extremely expensive to buy. And not only have you had a hard time buying them, but there's very limited availability, which causes supply and demand to kick in, and thus they are extremely overvalued than what they should be if they were just selling at a normal price, because you have the resale market trying to come in here, create a little bit of arbitrage, and sell them more for more than what they're actually worth. So this was pretty, I guess, a breath of fresh air for those of us who either like to mine or to game, because graphics cards have been so hard to get your hands on unless you have a lot of money to overpay for those on. So this was just, I guess, something that is not necessarily an impact that is causing cryptocurrency to rise, but something that I just thought was cool in the mix of this. But we're still seeing the rise of cryptocurrency, of pro-cryptocurrency politicians across the board, at least in the United States. And we're seeing this in other countries as well, as we'll talk about in just a second. But the rise of crypto mayors is something that we are seeing, especially. We're seeing Congress people, we're seeing senators, we're seeing mayors, governors, whatever you want to say. They are just popping up left and right. And the most recent one of what this actual article was done on from the New York Times was covering Scott Conger, the mayor of Jackson, Tennessee. Now, one of his big campaigning points here was that he wants to improve the local infrastructure and also add a lot of pro-cryptocurrency plans, as he is a big supporter of cryptocurrency. Now, it's really cool, and I'll have a link to this so that everyone can explore exactly what he is doing in full. I know some people don't care to get into the deeper politics of this, but there was a pretty cool amount of stuff that he's doing. You know, no matter what side of the spectrum that you're on here, I think we can all appreciate anybody who is pro-cryptocurrency in politics. With all the talks of regulation right now, this is what we are happy to see. We are happy to see more politicians come and support cryptocurrency, especially as these congressional trials have been held in the past couple of weeks. Now, he does talk about extremely being in favor of NFTs. I know we saw last year Miami's Mayor Suarez had a lot to say about cryptocurrency, a lot to do with adoption of not only cryptocurrencies but also NFTs. We see a lot of conferences being held down there, so it'll be interested to see if Scott Conger will also do something similar, trying to bring more conferences and more adoption in cryptocurrency into the city of Jackson, Tennessee. So again, lots of happening, and these aren't the only mayors. It's not like it's only Suarez and only Conger. There has been stuff happening all over the United States, and as we'll talk about in just a second, not only within the United States, but really all over the world. I believe I was just reading something on Michigan the other day too, so if I find a link to that one, we will throw that in the description down below. But this is going to be a pretty cool thing. Now, moving on, we also have Thai authorities planning to regulate crypto as a means of payment. The Thai SEC has proposed a set of guidelines to limit the use of digital assets for payments. Now, this is big. Clearly, this means that cryptocurrency is still on the move, and people are trying to use it as a means of payment. Thus, why they're trying to regulate this so that it can be done efficiently over in Thailand. So basically their Ministry of Finance and the Securities and Exchange Commission of Thailand is talking about all of this, finding out how they want to do this, how they want to address this. And I believe they're actually looking to continue these talks until February 8th. And after that, we should get some more information coming out of Thailand. Now, they're not the first country to do this. We've seen this happen in, I believe, like three or four countries already, where they are starting to adopt them as legal tender. And this is how the system works. Typically, things are tested in the third world countries first, then second world, and then first world. It's very rare that you see a first world country completely throwing their currency out the window and saying we're moving entirely to this digital cryptocurrency or anything like that. It doesn't even have to be cryptocurrency related, but it's very odd that you see a first world country try something that a second or third world country has not. And so typically they are, and I hate to use this word, but more often than not, the third world countries are the guinea pigs because they can be in more desperate situations sometimes. And so they are more willing to try things like this out and see how they work economically. And so that's what we're seeing across the board with El Salvador. We're even seeing it some in Venezuela and now in Thailand, which is pretty cool. We like to see this. And so I believe that as time goes on, as this proves successful, we will see second world countries start doing this. And as they start showing success, we'll start seeing more first world countries. And we already have some first world countries getting into the game of cryptocurrency. Major top 500, Fortune 500 companies are getting into the world of cryptocurrency and NFTs and the metaverse as well. That's all very clear, and we know that that has been happening. But now we have the countries that maybe some of these top 500 or some of these big companies are from starting to get into cryptocurrency as well. Now, again, some more deep than others. Some are not trying to offer it as a legal tender like El Salvador or maybe Thailand's trying to do. But it's a baby step. This is a one step at a time method, and they could do this at any time. But they are choosing to do this now. And it's hard for me to believe that if they really thought that this was going to be this awful, brutal, long-lasting bear market, that they would choose now to release this. It just would not make sense fundamentally from my perspective. But they are choosing now for a reason. And I think that that definitely holds some weight when looking at the cryptocurrency market. Now, let's look at Bitcoin dominance over here. Bitcoin dominance has been on the rise along with the entirety of the altcoin market cap. But what does this mean? Now, what I see from this is if Bitcoin dominance is on the rise, and I want to zoom in just a little bit over here, obviously it is down as the altcoin market has had a beautiful last 12 months. But the Bitcoin market is on the rise along with the altcoins. And this is a sign of a healthy market. If both Bitcoin is growing and the altcoin market is growing, the entire cryptocurrency as a whole is seeing growth across the board. It's not just one aspect of the market that's growing right now. It's everything. And some areas are going to grow more than others. But what I'm seeing from both the total altcoin market cap and the Bitcoin dominance we are seeing growth across the board from both Bitcoin and the altcoin market alike, especially in these past couple days as the crypto markets have started to go green again, which is what we were just looking at earlier. So whether you are a Bitcoin fan or an altcoin fan, this has been a good past, I would say, 2 days. We had Bitcoin falling down, we had altcoins falling down, giving, in my opinion, some of the best buying opportunities, something that I have been buying up of both Bitcoin and altcoins at this price around $35,000. But again, nothing I say here is legal, financial, or tax advice in any way. But I do see the potential in this cryptocurrency market, and I do see a lot of value at where we're at right now. Now, does that mean that this is the bottom and that we can't go any deeper than this? Absolutely not. For anyone who's been in cryptocurrency for a solid amount of time, you would know that whenever you think that you're right, there's always the chance of being wrong, especially in crypto. Sometimes these unpredictable events happen, and sometimes it doesn't always make sense fundamentally or technically. But that's just how the markets is. No one can predict it with 100% certainty, and anyone that says that they can has something shady going on about them. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video as Bitcoin is approaching the $39,000 mark again. I do want to see how Bitcoin reacts on resistance. We do have Bitcoin approaching former support of not once, not twice, former resistance not once, not twice, now turned into very clear resistance over here as we have seen in the past. So as Bitcoin reapproaches this trendline level, I would like to see how Bitcoin approaches the $40,000 to $41,000 to $42,000 area. There's definitely going to be a little pocket of resistance in here. So I'm watching very keenly to see how Bitcoin wants to react to this level and what the price action is ultimately going to do along with the stock market. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We have a lot of cool content coming your way. We post a couple times a week on this channel. So if you like what I had to say and want to learn more, make sure to check out all the links in the description below. And I will see you all in the next video.